Marines, this is going to be a rapid-fire PME. The subject, John Archer Lejeune. John Archer Lejeune, arguably the greatest leatherneck of all times. And how to say it. It is John Archer Lejeune. It is incontrovertibly correct, the pronunciation of his name. We've lost it for a while, and a while back I was chartered by Leatherneck and a few other people to write a story on this. I went down to Louisiana. The family, for last generation, has always been concerned because the name has been disrespected and not spoken correctly. Probably a few of you heard him say the June word. But one of the family members said, every time we hear the June word on TV, we cringe. It's Lejeune. When I went down there, they were so grateful and so happy, they made me one of the judges in Mardi Gras, which put me kind of in an awkward position because here I am trying to stay objective, and these beautiful women are getting off the floats and draping with beads and jewelry and things like that. So, you just to prove that I'm not easily bribed in order to give these back. Next time you're in Mardi Gras, you can pass these back, okay? Does anybody here tell me what the word etymology means? Etymology. Etymology is the study of words. You know, in the word colonel, how many R's are in the word colonel? Sergeant, how many R's? None. But you still say colonel. A large percentage of Americans in the nation's capital say Washington. There's no R there. And as a Marine colonel recently pointed out, we don't say corpse. These are frivolous comparisons. But let me tell you something. Respecting John Archer Lejeune is anything but frivolous. There are some compelling facts that dictate why we should give him full honors. John Lejeune went to the Naval Academy and finished academically second in his class. However, he was not allowed to go into the Marine Corps at first because the Navy wasn't going to allow anybody with high academics into the Marine Corps. What do you think of that? So that's changed. So anyway, he showed one quality, and one quality that always triumphs over everything. John Lejeune went to the two senators from Louisiana and the governor with that one quality, determination, and he became a second lieutenant in the Marine Corps. He went on to a long, successful career, Mexican War, quite a few other skirmishes, and finally he was a one-star general back in Washington, D.C., and they offered him a chance. They offered him a chance to be commandant of the Marine Corps. But it was 1917, and he knew there was a major combat coming up called World War I, and he turned it down and went off to France. And he became the first American, the first Marine to command a U.S. Army division in combat, plus the Marine Brigade and all that went with that. He set a record there in France. He divided his forces. He launched a night attack that ended the war. He was also, by the way, the first Marine, when he's over there in France, to go to the end of the Chow Line. He also checked out the topography behind the lines as a two-star general. He was 2 stars then. The war ended. And he and the Marines came home, as you know, highly decorated and highly lauded from Belleau Woods and the other battles. He came home and he's quite a hero. However, the Army Chief of Staff and the Department of the Army, located at the War Department, probably a better name for it, the War Department, they were very upset. And up to that time, they thought Marines were just seagoing bellhops, did a few skirmishes. And all of a sudden now, Marines are in their AOR, and the Marines are doing very well. The Army Chief of Staff made a vow to dissolve the Marine Corps. Major General Lejeune came back, and they made him the 13th Commandant of the Marine Corps, where he served for 3 terms. You know what he spent his time doing? Walking the passageways of Congress and doing everything he could to save the Marine Corps. And he saved the Marine Corps. He created the evening parades. He created the 1921 birthday message we read at our birthday party. But he didn't do them for the charm and the traditions that go with it. He did it because he was a one-man public affairs person saving the Marine Corps. He also, during those 3 years as Commandant, went on to establish amphibious vessels, spanned the schools at Quantico. He created, when he was in Cuba, he created the Marine Corps Association. Later, he created the Marine Corps League. There's pretty much no end to the honors and things that have been given to this man. statues and halls named after him are at the Naval Academy, Quantico, of course Camp Lejeune, and up and down the eastern seaboard. With all those honors, one would think that we could say his name correctly. Brian Costello, a noted historian who's written 17 books on Louisiana, a direct descendant of John Archer, says every time we see that name on TV, and they use the June word, he says we cringe. 5 Marines came from that area of Louisiana, Pointe Coupee Parish. 5, 1 lieutenant, 2 lance corporals, and 2 corporals. When those 4 Marines arrived at, enlisted Marines arrived at Parris Island, the sergeant said, we don't say that. We don't say it that way anymore. But they don't say it that way anymore. The lieutenant got to Quantico. Another sergeant said, we don't say it that way anymore either. After 22 years or more, having their name said Lejeune, and being a descendant of this great Marine, everybody lost it this last generation. Well, those days are over. When I was down in Louisiana, in order to verify everything, the name Lejeune, many people think it's French. I learned from a professor at Tulane University that the Lejeune family came from Switzerland. After a few years in Illinois, they moved down and settled in Louisiana. They're a genteel and chivalrous family. They're quality people. This professor is now at Tulane. He's the head professor of French and Italian. He wrote his dissertation in Pointe Coupee Parish on the Lejeune family pronunciation, things of that nature. He said, Mr. Brent, this is Professor Tom Klinger, he said, Mr. Brent, you got an uphill battle. He said, when the people have been so indifferent, when they've been so indifferent, and they've said things so wrong for so long, they don't like to change. And I looked at Dr. Klinger, and I said, Tom, you're wrong. It might be true in the civilian world, but these are Marines. These are Marines. When we have when someone plays the Marines hymn, Sergeant, what do? That's right. We not only stand, we stand at attention. The other branches don't. We stand tall. We stand tall. And that's what we're doing on General John Archer Lejeune. I'm relying on you and everyone to pass that word. Remember that. I want you to pass the word on General Lejeune. Aloha and thank you.